All right, so we are live here. Uh, well, good night to everybody. For us, Brazil, good afternoon for the ones who are here. So we are from Alstats. Here, Felipe here, head of analysis. We have Bradley Moore, part of our team as well, and Thiago Silveira, our CEO. And we are here to present our newest tool, our scouting platform, our named Our Scout. And before we begin, I would like to interact with you guys a little bit in comments. If you could say from where you're seeing the our live and here in the comments, put in the comments, and then we can uh, after a few minutes we can start our presentation and show to everybody here our futures. Can we how can we help you, and how we will be different and better than anything else that you have ever seen in the market in football. I'm gonna wait for a few seconds for more people to come by. Hi, Leandro is watching us from England. Leandro, great to have you here. Hope you like it, and feel free to shout out some questions on our comments as well. Uh, we will be pleased to answer you and everybody who has eventually some questions, something to ask. Filippo here as well. Filippo, our COO, also with us in this presentation. Andre is part of our IT team, and stats and development team, watching here from Brazil. Great to have you here, Andre, as well. Adam Clark here, our friend from UK. Great stuff to have you here, Adam. Excellent. Shout out from Brazil. Claudio as well, watching from Brazil. Hi, Claudio. Great to have you here, my friend. More people coming by. That's awesome. So, thinking about, I think we're good to start. We'll pass the word to Thiago, our CEO. He will start our presentation. So once again, thanks for everybody to be with us here on the live, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, guys. Thanks very much for being with us tonight. I'm Thiago Silveira, CEO of Our Stats. It's been almost a year since we started this adventure We started in July last year, and so our inspiration is Brentford, obviously, because I worked for Smart Odds as a consultant and as a full-time employee for some time as well in the office in London. And yeah, so I saw from the beginning when Matthew Benham uh, brought up the club, and so we saw what he did in terms of organizing the club and getting talent before everyone else, spotting the talent and making really good profit and putting Brentford ahead of a lot of clubs from the same level. And now Brentford, obviously, in the Premier League, and you know, we have some figures there. So how he did it, and so obviously he applied a lot of stats similar to what we do, but what we actually trying to do here is getting so many analysts back in Brazil and obviously the rest of South America as well, trying to find the talent before everyone else, because we have a huge number of people, very, very experienced people like Tricate and some other analysts that we have, scouts who have worked for big clubs in Brazil, who have the experience. So we having people on the ground there put us in a very privileged position, and we want to do something similar to what Brentford and Michelin did. But obviously, being from Brazil, it gives us a huge advantage finding the talent there. So I hope that you guys enjoy what we're going to present to you today. And yeah, thank you very much.
So Owl Stats is basically made up from 40 different analysts and scouts around Brazil. These scouts are looking at over 200 matches a week, so that encompasses about 1,000 players within the database. And so through this, you can see that within every game, you're getting multiple different views and all stats throughout throughout the week, throughout the season, and you can make sure that these stats are extremely well understood, and players are to your liking. To do this, Owl Stats quantifies a player's actions per 90 minutes, focusing on their determinate actions on the field. There are over 40 different action types that are marked either positive or negative with an impact rating. And so these impact ratings are then looked at through three different statuses. So like either medium, high, or decisive. And then these actions can further be broken down into 7 different dimensions like finishing, control, and defense. All of these actions are then aggregated into the Owl Stats index. This index is the summation of per 90 minutes of the actions on the pitch. And then the higher the index rating, the better the player. And the rating allows for a level comparison between players across different leagues. So like whether you're looking at a player on the top division in Brazil to Serie C, you can get that same kind of comparison. So the full objective is to quantify the qualitative analysis of players, enabling clubs to find talent in a much more effective way to ultimately be successful in the transfer market. So you'll now be able to see how Owl Stat Scout works in the upcoming slides. So first off, you got to find a player. So using filters like league, position, minutes, age, uh, different kinds of stats like goals or all that good stuff. You can then be able to find a target. And uh, once you're able to identify it, um, you can then save it and uh, monitor progress throughout um, the season. Once you identify the a few different, you can then follow your targets uh, and all players' performance data throughout all different divisions, all top divisions in Brazil, and then using all of those indices and stats, you're then able to compare the impact of the players uh, across all available leagues.
And so, to explain a little bit better in terms of how it works and how this platform can help you, we have separated a few real application examples. So, from each league that we cover, first, second, and third division in Brazil, we separated three different examples on how our features and now and how our method and methodology can help you to find the best targets and sooner than anybody else and with a better accuracy than anybody else. So first of all, this is the case of one of the biggest names in Palmeiras right now, one of the best teams, unless if it is not the best team in Brazil right now. Palmeiras, two times champions in Libertadores recently. Zé Rafael is a player who, in terms of main data and the ones who with other tools can offer you, he doesn't outstand in anything else. More than that, he's not even considered like a top 50 players in terms of performance. When you go, for example, in the traditional metrics like ball recoveries, in terms of passing behavior, in pass accuracy, forward passes, number of crosses, they all offer you the raw number. They offer you like the number for itself, which without the context, it doesn't mean that much. But when you go through our methodology, you can see that Zé Rafael becomes not only an essential player for Palmeiras, but also the best in terms of our stats index. So when you go throughout the traditional metrics, you don't have this kind of details. So what we can offer you and help you to identify the best profile for your team. So once we measure every single player in 7 different dimensions, we can see here that if you're looking for example, a player good in creation skills, a player with a good finishing, but also a really good player in defending, Rafael might be this player. So we can see his differentiation between profiles in terms of which dimensions he outstands the most. We can see the details between positive and negative actions. And as Bradley said, you can monitor and track his development throughout the season, game by game. So here, when I say that he's been performing really good, I can go throughout the detail, and all these features will be possible throughout our platform. We can see that in terms of games, only in the second game of the tournament, he had like a bigger amount of negative actions when you compare to the positive actions. And then, as I said, not only he becomes essential to the team, but he became the best player in terms of our stats index so far in the tournament, but also in terms of total impact. So those are the 2 main metrics that we evaluate in players. Our index is a sum up of everything that he's been doing. Positive or negative is like a net balance of what he's doing per 90 minutes. and then the total impact is like a accumulated vision on how is he doing throughout the season. And more than that, we separated more two examples. This one is from our second division here. So once you're looking for a target, it doesn't matter the size of your club, because we cover the three main divisions in the league. So if you want to, I don't know, pursue some player in the second division, we can also help you with that. So here we have Rafael Santos. Rafael Santos is one of the left backs from Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro current first place in the second division in Brazil. Again, once you look throughout the main data of his performance, his average and sometimes even below average. So in terms of, again, ball recoveries, crosses, those kind of things. And so by the main data throughout the other divisions, he is not having an outstanding performance. But once you go throughout our eyes on our stats and once of all our scout, you pursuing players in Brazil, you could spot him before anybody else, because he is one of the best players in the tournament, the best of Cruzeiro in terms of when you consider and analyze our stats index. Again, as Zé Rafael example, you can see his performance throughout different visualizations, throughout more details. And in this case, he is outstanding not only in terms of the quality of what he's doing, but also in the number of his attempts in basically every single dimension that we cover. So by using our methods and by using our platform, you would be able to scout him first. And again, one thing that we can also help you with that is, okay, and you can see that he has a good index, but once you can compare, as Bradley said before, so we can compare him within players from his league. So in terms of league comparison and league performance, he's the best one in set pieces, and he's in the top 5 in terms of creation. So if you're looking for example, a left back really good in set pieces and that can help you a little bit more in terms of creating your offensive situations, Rafael Santos might be that guy. And this is something that only throughout our stats you would be able to see it. And another example, the final one that we have separated here, is a comparison between two defensive midfielders from the third division. That's, again, it's part of our offer, since we can cover in more details a better surface of the Brazilian territory in terms of football. So here we have two defensive midfielders from two teams in the third division, Mikael and Magno. If you, again, take a look at the main data, they are basically the same, similar data, similar performance. But throughout our eyes and our methodology, it's clear how Mikael outstands in terms of comparing him with Magno. Again, game-by-game evaluation, only in the very first game in the third division, Magno had a better performance than Mikael. And by using our method and our tool, it would be easy to say and to spot that, okay, if I'm looking for a defensive midfielder, really good not only in terms of participation on the game, so the number of actions, the total of actions, but in terms of quality as well, I would say that Mikael is a way better choice than Magno, and one of the best in terms of third division options. If you are going through our database and going through this particular league. So this is some of the conclusions that you can take from not only from our platform itself, but from our method that can help you to get the Brazilian talent, which is well known all over the world, better and first than anybody else in the market nowadays, and consider a really good range of options considering first, second, and third division at the moment. But now Bradley will come up with how our proposal works and how you can benefit even more um, by subscribing and being a user of the OwlScout platform.
So the offer is access to all three divisions within Brazil, and this is to the first 30 clients, 50% discount through December 2023, starting at $300. And this guarantees access to all data across all those three divisions, and no adjustment in prices as new leagues are added. So this is looking at Colombia and the new U20 division within Brazil. And the offer ends at the end of the month. And just to start, all you need to do is follow the link shown in the next slide to get in touch with someone on the team and to follow that.
Yeah, so to sum up, we have here a really good presentation and really good alternative and solution for clubs all over the world to come to Brazil and further on to South America, which are two markets with a huge amount of talents. And what we can offer and what we can guarantee is by having this massive team of analysts and well-trained analysts who can help you to find these talents better and sooner than anybody else. So by our coverage in details throughout the Brazilian market, further on the under 20s, South American leagues as well, we can help you with this differentiation. We are leaving here the link that you can show interest by entering this link and further on to subscribe on our platform with discounts and an offer that from market perspective, from what I've seen so far, it's like a huge deal for everybody. And I hope you enjoyed it. And before we can finish, I can open the comments for more questions. And if you have any doubts on how something in the platform works, on how some analysis features and how some of the dimensions that we described works, I would be more than happy to answer your questions and help you with any other doubts that might came up during the presentation. Okay, well, I think was a good explanation here. Thanks, Bradley, for your amazing presentation. Really enjoyed it and really appreciated your participation. And Thiago, do you want to say some stuff?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone again. What we're creating here, we're building something that I think we think we're going to dominate the market in South America. It's a very ambitious project that we have here, and obviously we're starting where we know best, but we soon want to add some other leagues in South America and Latin America in general. So this is obviously an early start. People who are interested to join now, we can guarantee that we're gonna add so many more to this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please just give us a shout. We'll be happy to answer all your questions. And I hope we see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys again. And for any questions, and for hope you enjoy the presentation and the features, and hope you can see you in the future as users of our Scout platform.